Hello, this is One Dip, and this is my technology integration project for ETEC 562. In this unit, I will incorporate technology of Google Slides, Google Docs, Edmodo, and Educreation on iPads. An alternative would be the Show Me application. This lesson will take over two classes periods of 90 minutes. This is for block scheduling in the high school level. Videos, images, and text will be presented to the student prior to any enrichment activities. Learning theories. I will be focusing on Piaget theory of schemata and constructivism. They both emphasize the importance of learning from experiences and opportunities to practice. The instructional model that I chose would be very closely related to Robert Gagne theory of conditions of learning, more specifically the 5E of learning: engagement, exploration, explanation, elaboration, and evaluation. Instructional objectives. I chose to focus on the TECs of biology, B9A, which is to compare the structures and function of different types of biomolecules, including carbohydrates, lipids, proteins, and nucleic acid. The readiness standards are to analyze and evaluate the evidence regarding formation of simple organic molecules and their organization into long complex molecules having information such as DNA molecule for self-replicating life. The two supporting standards are very similar to the readiness standards. It's more in depth, which is learning which one is organic and which one is inorganic, and the difference between monomers and polymers. Going right ahead onto day one lesson plan, I created my lesson plan with the objective and product on the very top. The objective is very similar to the TECs, the readiness standard. We will compare structures of biomolecules, including carbohydrates, lipid, protein, and nucleic acid. The product, which is at the end of the day, students will be able to make a music video or a song over polymers. To start out the lesson, which is a hook or the engagement, I show a short video, less than 10 minutes long, over what is food and why is food important. While watching the video, students will make notes in their science journal and answer these two questions. Explore and explain, which consists of notes taking. Notes will be in question format, and on the explain part is when teachers, myself, I will be going over each question, answering any cloudy parts, since it's the first time students have been introduced to the material. Elaborate is when students actually create their own song or the polymer song. Evaluate is when they play the Kahoot game, which I'll explain in the next slide. So here are the lyrics that I made. Students can use the same lyrics, or they can create their own lyrics. However, the information have to be very accurate. As you can tell, all of these pertaining to the monomers of carb and the polymers of carbs. Students can use their iPads or their cell phone to record their video, taking pictures of themselves rapping, singing the verse, however they would like. They would have 20 to 30 seconds video, and they would upload into Educreation. And here how Educreation looks like. This is an example or a screenshot of an Educreation slide or video that my previous kids have made for level of organizations. Moving on to day two, they will have the same objective. However, the product is quite different. At the end of day two, students will be able to build on what they learned by making a 3D model of a biomolecule that I assigned out of household items. Household items like pipe cleaners, tape, and construction paper. Once they've done that, they will take a picture of their own model through their phone or an iPad in class. Then they will upload that picture onto the class's Edmodo page with an explanation, very similar to posting a status on Facebook in a picture. They will then pick two other classmates, one with the same biomolecules as they do. For example, if I was assigned carbohydrates, I would look for someone who'd done carb, comment on it, and by comment I meant what I liked about it, what I learned about it, and how is that different from my own carbohydrate work. And also I would comment on another biomolecules. It can be lipid, protein, or nucleic acid with the same criteria. This is an example of one of the work that previous year students have done. This is a choreo protein example made of pipeliners. And this is a screenshot of the My Edmodo page. You can tell it's very similar to the Facebook layout. Kahoot. I use Kahoot quite often as closures in my classroom. Studies have shown that students are most engaged in the first and last 10 minutes of class. So the first 10 minutes, I use a hook, a video, an image, a visual, anything to gauge their excitement for the lesson to come. And for Kahoot, I use as closure the last 10 minutes when students are gathering things, getting ready to leave, the bell about to ring. I would pop up Kahoot, and as soon as I pop up Kahoot, student will be in their seat, getting their devices out, and starting to play this game. So the assessment and evaluation from this unit is quite informal. I assess them through their performance in Kahoot, and I also assess them in their performance to analyze their own work and comparing it to other people's work. They play the same Kahoot both days, so the first day they can make many mistakes and will not hold accountable. The second day, I expect the mastery level to be quite higher. I would pause at each question and see which one picked the wrong answer, and I would talk about why they picked it to make sure I touch on all of my kids. Let me show you an example of educreation. So here is an example of educreation. About 30 seconds long video. Students will be singing, rapping, going along, and they can work in pairs. You can provide the pictures, or they can make their own pictures. And this is an example of Kahoot. 15 question Kahoot questions, multiple choice with plenty of image, and as they play, it's timed, and it's also a competition, and kids love Kahoot. And I believe this is all for my technology integration project. Thank you for listening.